Hello and good evening, Healy family. Wait as you guys start coming in and joining the call tonight. So happy to be here and to be sharing on a new topic, something that's also very new for me. So this was great education on my own part. So what an opportunity it was to dive into this topic tonight for you all. Welcome, Justin. Thank you for joining us on the call tonight. When you're jumping in and joining us, go ahead and put in the chat where you're tuning in from. I am currently in Washington State. I'm here visiting family right now. So on the other side of the country, which is where I normally am when I'm tuning in with you all. We'll just wait a few more moments as people are jumping in and joining us. Asheville. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for jumping on and joining us. And maybe you had some friends or other Healy members or Healy users that are using the Healy Animal Module. You might want to invite them to this call. So go ahead and take some time and send some messages out. And I am going to go ahead and get the call started to respect everybody's time. Okay, so if you at any time you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them, but there'll always be, we can always have someone else answer if I don't have those answers coming through. Like I said, that this was a new program for me to learn about as well when I was putting together this call. So I'm really excited to dive in to Healy Product 101, the HealAdvisor Animal Module. I said problem, sorry. So today, what we are going to be covering is we're just going to do a brief overview of the animal programs. I'm going to talk to you about different tools that we can use as Healy members to share more information about the Healy animal programs. And then also I had the opportunity of doing an interview with Donna Hammer. She is an independent Healy World member who's living in Australia and has been using frequencies with all different types of animals for over 3 years now. So I have a pre-recorded interview that I'm going to be sharing that I'm really looking forward to presenting today. So let's see here. The HealAdvisor animal programs, they are an add-on subscription. So you can add these on to any Healy for whatever you or your customer may need, and they can add this on as a monthly subscription. They get 12 different individualized microcurrent frequency programs, and they also can get a animal kit that is sold separately. So there's different ways to apply the microcurrent on different types of animals of different sizes. I have here the USA and Canada's subscription price. So for the US, it is $24.50 a month, and Canada, it is 29 Canadian dollars a month. I have this beautiful little picture here that I pulled out of the Healy World flyer for the animal module, and I wanted to read this to you all. I love this. So that, did you know that for decades, microcurrent frequency application has been used on animals, for example, horses, dogs, and cats. It is a tried and tested method with a long history of successful applications on animals supported by experts and professionals in the fields of veterinary medicine or animal physiotherapy. And I really love that because as I've heard, I personally don't have a pet, but as I've heard or I've witnessed when being around animals with frequencies, is that, you know, they don't have those walls or those blockages and programmings that we as adults have. So they are very much more open to receiving and interacting with frequencies. So there's different resources of what we have access to and how we can share Healy with customers or people interested in Healy. So in our back office, and you log in and you go to the toolbar on the left-hand side, and you will actually click the wrench or the tool that's there. And inside there is the download section. So in your downloads that you could either find in your back office, you can also now get these in your academy. You would download the animal module presentation. So it is a really beautiful slide deck that you can use for your own presentation, whether that is hosting online. Maybe you want to print one off just to have lying around, or maybe you have veterinarian friends, they want to place it into their office so some people could look at it while they're reviewing and waiting in the rooms. You also have the animal module flyer that is like a 2-page, easily downloadable flyer you could use for emails or when you have events, and to share about the animal frequencies. And then we have this YouTube commercial video here that I'm going to play for you. So this is from the Healy World official website. On YouTube, excuse me. And this is the title of the video. So if you want to try to find it, it is called Unleash Holistic Wellbeing for Your Pets with HealAdvisor Animal Module. So I'm going to allow you guys to watch this video quickly so you can see what it is. So you can start thinking of who it is that you know that you could share this with.
When you bring home a pet for the first time, they become more than just an animal to you. They become your cherished companion, your best friend. As an animal lover, pet owner, or veterinarian, you strive to provide these animals with the best care and love they deserve. Healy World introduced the HealAdvisor Animal Module to revolutionize the way you care for your beloved pets. HealAdvisor Animal Module combines the best microcurrent application for animals in a dedicated program group consisting of the 12 most popular and commonly used Individualized Microcurrent Frequency (IMF) programs. These programs are designed to harmonize your pet's bioenergetic field in a simple, versatile, and holistic way while promoting calmness and inner strength. Access all the necessary tools in the complete Healy Animal Kit for seamless and effective application. Cable electrodes ensure the flow of microcurrent through the body, which lets your animals benefit from the harmonization on a physical level. Using these cable electrodes enables the transmission of over 9 million different possible frequencies into the bioenergetic field. As an add-on, the Healy coil can be used for a cable-free experience. The HealAdvisor Animal Module is where technology meets love for your pet's wellness. Here's to a happier, holistic, healthy, and more vibrant life for your beloved furry friends.
I love that. I love how it said it was talking about for wellness and then into love. I forgot the words that it just said. I couldn't find my way to get back on the camera. But I love that video. So I think that that is a real easy and beautiful thing just to send to people, especially those of your friends or family members that have their own pets at home. Everybody wants to support, their pets and their family. And so this beautiful slide that I've added in here, this is actually from the HealAdvisor Animal Module presentation. So I've pulled it from there because these are great statistics that Healy has gotten and collected from surveys they put out to other individual Healy members. And so they have over 350 different participants from all around the world that are using these frequencies for their animals. Over 75% have had a positive experience with the animal module. Number of animals owned at the same time by the Healy users ranges up to 255. Nearly 70% of Healy users apply animal programs multiple times a week, and nearly 45% share animal programs with family and friends. So I love that because, even if you don't have your own pets, you can go and share it with someone that that does have pets, and you could support them and show how they can continue to support their fur friends. So I told you that I had an opportunity to interview Donna Hammer, or as she likes to be called, is Donna Doolittle. Donna Doolittle, the animal communicator. Donna says she has always had a love for animals, and it's hence why she's got the name Donna Doolittle. She said that she cannot remember a time when she didn't have at least 2 or 3 family pets at home. There was always something special about them, and she could never put into words what I felt for them. And when the animals were sick or needed help, I would always be the one who knew first. So 6 years ago, Donna set up Donna Doolittle Animal Communicator. Animal communication is a 3-way conversation where pets share their thoughts and feelings, and Donna is able to pass their concerns onto their guardians. It provides the guardian with opportunity to ask questions, to share how they feel, and work together for the highest good of all concerned. Donna sees her role as the voice for the pets and shares their messages with the guardians. Donna also offers healing using different variety of tools available to her, including bushflower essences and different healing modalities, as well as the Healy device that she calls her magic tool. So I had to record this ahead of time because Donna is on the other side of the world. So I hope that you guys enjoy this as we start and you guys get to learn a little bit more about Donna and how she is actually using Healy in all the different ways of delivery of frequencies with different types of animals and pets. So please enjoy. Hi, Donna. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing about the animal frequencies and how you use Healy with your pets and your clients. So we have Donna Hammer, who is here from Australia, another Healy family member. So Donna, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself as I get our presentation going on the screen?
Thank you for having me here. Of course, I'm from the land down under. So if I do talk a little bit fast, please know that's just because I'm really excited about animals. I'm really excited about this magical tool that we have, which I often call my little unicorn, because, you know, it has been such an amazing tool to have in my life the past 3 years. Somebody originally shared in Australia, they were doing the roadshow and they, you know, had this little device and I was going, wow, what is that? I was so intrigued. And I was going through menopause and I thought this is going to be perfect for me. And as I spent a little bit of time looking at this and learning about it, I went, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is what I need to be using in my business. And using it for not only my pets, but my clients. So I'm an animal communicator and intuitively I connect with pets all around the world. I've been doing many healing modalities for many, many years. I've studied kinesiology. I'm a practitioner for whole energy body balance, which has been created by a vet in Australia. Bushflower practitioner, bark flowers, Schussler salts, you name it. I love it. I, use it with my pets and other pets. So, you know, when this little tool come along, I went, this is what I need in my toolkit. So, you know, over the last 3 years, I've just played with all the different frequencies for animals. And obviously on today's call, we'll be talking a little bit about them.
Wow. Well, when you saw that Healy was able to also tap into the Bach flowers and bush flowers and the salts, you must have really, felt like you hit something special, huh?
Well, the interesting thing about those is that really nobody talked about them, you know, particularly 3 years ago. It was just such a, it came to us here and everybody was so excited about it, but nobody really knew what was hidden in that tool. And I think as a person who works with animals every day, that those are just fantastic along with our animal frequencies to be able to support your pets. So yeah, I love them. I think it's just one of the amazing features of this tool.
I mean, I use them all the time as well. As a mother, I think it helps to understand those emotional blockages, especially when young children can't express, just like animals can't really express. So it gives you an insight. So I'm so glad that we have those. Let's see what we have next going on here. Oh my gosh. And look at all these cute animals. Have you used them all on these animals?
Well, these animals, I can't take claim to fame for most of these animals. There is down the bottom, the top right corner are 2 of my Goldies, Ajax and Fergie, and down the bottom is a little poodle that I have that's 18 and a half. But the rest of these animals are all within my group frequencies for pets, and people have shared the photos that they've been using these on their babies. And I think it's just amazing because, you know, people come in and they ask questions and they talk about their pets and, you know, what they've done and the successes that they've had. And, you know, for me personally, I worked with a calf. Some people rang me up and said that their little calf had tick bite. And first thing come to my mind, Healy, I've got to use my Healy. And so I scanned this beautiful girl and basically she'd been what they thought was dead in the paddock for 4 days. And with the Healy, I was able to go through the bush flowers. I was able to emotionally work with her. And then, of course supported with the animal frequencies and, you know, the success. And you can see here, it's just not for dogs and cats. You can use it for a broad range of animals.
Wow, that is amazing. That's so sweet that you were able to support that calf. All right. And so you can use the Healys in 2 different ways. We've talked about that before. So let's talk about how you use them with the animals in both apps.
Okay, so for a lot of people, they don't realize under the resonance, which is the blue app, and for me today in our presentation, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to talk blue app and pink app rather than microcurrents and all that, because I just want to simplify the process in our discussion. Under your resonance, which is the blue app, most people don't realize that the animal programs are hidden in there. It's just like this exciting little, when I have a conversation, I go and look at the blue app. So you can go into the blue app and you can scan your pet in there, and we'll talk more about that. But you can run those frequencies to them that way, right? Very, very easy, very, very easy for on the go dealing with pets. Whereas with your pink app, you do need to buy the monthly subscription. Right. And then you do need to choose what frequency you're going to deliver to them. So, you know, it's 2 different ways of delivering the frequencies to your animals, but it depends on what your needs are at that time and what's going on with your pet. So, you know, please, if you haven't already done so and you've got the resonance, go in there, open it up, scroll down the list, and you'll see the animal programs in there and just have a play with them.
Oh, I love that. Okay. All right, yeah. So how can we make our animals clients in the Blue app?
So very, very simple. Just like you go to add in a person, you scroll down the list and it gives you the ability to add in animals. So one of the questions that people always come to me and say, oh, I've rescued this animal, you know, I've adopted this animal or dog. Let's talk about dogs, because dogs are my favorite, by the way. I've rescued this dog. I don't know, maybe it's 6 years old, maybe it's 7 years old. And they get all caught up on, I don't know the date, I don't know this, I don't know that. So what I suggest to people is just put in the gotcha date, the date that you adopted that pet or the date that pet came into your life or animal came into your life. Let's put it down, because one of the things about your Healy is it's all about intention, right? I'm really big on intention. So, you know, as long as you're putting that frequency in, that intention in to this is what's going on with my pet, then we're going to know that it's working with them, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing is once I add the animal in, look, poor old Ajax, and I've got to say poor old Ajax, my beautiful golden retriever, he was my tester, right? I used to wrangle him and get his paw on here and do all sorts of fun things because it was such a learning curve 3 years ago. We didn't, you know, the pioneers that really got the device in those days were always trying out things. And, you know, I've got the dogs and I've got their paw prints on there and things like this. We now know you don't need to go to all that excitement, but it certainly added a level of fun. You know, me wrangling my dog and things. But once you added your animal in, you can either put it on them, and I like to say I am Ajax, or I visualize my animal as I'm doing this really with that intention, or I just simply place it on them. So, you know, whatever works for you, but don't forget to add into their vibration. A lot of people forget to do that. Mm-hmm. I don't drill down so hard as to put in all the address details, but I certainly would put in my town, etc. So, you know, photo and those things are really, really important. But intention, always be thinking of your pet and holding that close into your heart when you're adding them in there. Now, just as a little tip, there's some crazy cat and dog people that are in Healy, right? When I say crazy, they say, hey, Donna, I've got 15 cats. And I think, wow, imagine trying to scan every pet and adding them in, or every cat and adding them in. If you've got a lot of them, look at adding them as a group, right? So try and take a group photo, try and get them in as a group and add them as a group. And that way then you can deliver the frequencies to the group of your pets. Just another fun way of working with them.
I love that. Yeah. And so what also, can I ask you, if you are working with, or you have a family member across the country or whatever, doing long distance scannings with as clients, how would you suggest, is that both the pet's owner and you holding deep intention with the pet, or how would you go about that?
I always like to have my owners or friends or family or whoever I'm working with hold that intention, but primarily I am sending it directly to the pet.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as you would know, as a mum and working with a lot of mums here, often our children and certainly our pets, they reflect us, and what's going on from them is usually going on for us as well. So that's why it's always good to ask the guardians to hold that space for their pets and just, you know, allow that to come through. And sometimes it might be if you've got somebody who has got an animal that's, you know, not well, that you might want to do the scans for both of them and deliver frequencies for both of them.
I love that. All right, wonderful. All right. I love this. How are we going to choose the programs, right?
I hear this all the time. What should I use? So if you're using the pink app, now, when I talk about the pink app, if you've got, say, a gold or you've got a Healy holistic, then in the pink app, you would go into your shop and you would buy the animal module, right? It's a monthly subscription. And that way, then you've got 12 specific programs. I had to think about that for a minute, 12 specific programs, but sometimes it's confusing as to which program should I use. And that's why Healy have what's called the HealAdvisor Animal Module. And it's a little program that you can go in there. There's 300 different unique search terms. So you could add specifically what you believe your pet is dealing with at that current point, and it will come back and say, hey, this is a program that's specific for you, or what it recommends for you, right? The other way is, of course, you go into your Blue app, you do the scan with the animal programs, and then it will roll up and show you the top programs for your animal at that particular time. Now, the great thing about that is if you're time poor, and this can happen, you know, we're working with our pets, and by the time we've run it for us and the kids and blah, 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 you know, we're not going to sit down, say, with the pink app and run it for an extended period of time. We can just do a short program now, but you might want to deal with their emotions at the same time, like, why is this occurring? So then you could also follow up with the bushflower essences, for instance. Or for me, if I've got a pet that's not feeling really well, I might follow up with the Schussler salts. Love them. If you've got one of the original Healys, and when I talk about originals, like 3 years ago, Materia Medica was in there. It's fantastic, but it has now been incorporated into another program if you've only recently purchased your device. So, you know, depending upon when you got your Healy will depend upon some of these additional frequencies that are there.
Perfect. And okay, so when we are using the device, if you're using the Blue app, there's different ways of vibrations that we can be sending the frequencies to the animals. So I want to talk, because I was talking to you about this before on the phone, and I said, oh, I heard that the longer the timestamp, the bigger the animal, like an elephant. So let's hear what you have to say, because you're like, no.
Well, first of all, if you are using the pink app, remember that it has specific times, right? And the time frame, like I was going to say, here's my little chart here that you can't see because my background's blurred, but, you know, they run from 43 minutes or 36 minutes up to 69 minutes. They're stock standard, what comes with the pink. But when you're using the blue, you can choose time frames, right? So you did talk about the elephant. I was like laughing at that, going, wow, I'm going to go down to the zoo and deliver some frequencies. But really what I want to say to people is for me personally, and the time that I've worked with the animals, less is more, or slow and low, right? And that was really highlighted to me. So originally we didn't have the animal programs. And when they, you know, we basically woke up one morning and they said, yay, the animal programs are now here in the residence. And I got so excited. So I went bang, run them for my beautiful old golden retriever. And he was, I think, 15 at the time, right? And I sent frequencies to him for 5 minutes, and within a very short period of time, 15, 20 minutes, he had vomiting and diarrhea. And I was like, whoa, that wasn't a good idea, Donna. Why weren't you following your rule that you teach everybody else? Slow and low, less is more. So, you know, I really encourage people, when you're starting out with these frequencies, start with 37 seconds, right? You can deliver it a couple of times through the day, but don't be sending them, you know, a lot of people go, oh, I run it for an hour. And I go, no, animals don't need to receive those frequencies. They're not complicated like us. They don't have loads and loads of things. So, you know, start small, continue over time. But, you know, I talked to another lady, and I was having a laugh with her, was that she had 2 dogs. One's quite happy to use it for 12 minutes, but the other one, not so much. I have another friend that every time she brings her Healy out, the dog starts running. And I just laugh and say, you know, isn't it beautiful that they're able to show us that not today, I don't need that today, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then say to people is, if you're working with your pets and you've got your Healy device there with them, by the way, don't hook it around the neck and let them go and drink water, because they drop into water bowls. I also used to kind of there, and I'd see my Healy swinging around down the road because I'd forget to take it off. So just be aware, maybe sit with them and just have that really one-on-one connecting time while you're running these frequencies to your pets. But
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say is I love that you have this picture here, because I mean, I always still teach that to anybody who's trying Healy for the first time anyway, you know, and I say it's like, just like, you know, children don't like to be yelled at, neither to like give instructions, neither do ourselves. You know, we just need to be gradually encouraging this change, right? Be patient with it and allow it to work. And like, just like you said, that they don't have these walls, these programmings, everything that we have, they are pure, right? To just be open to receiving. So I love that you talk about that, and their body language as well. Oh, I love that.
Say about the body language. If you actually sit with your pets and you're watching them, say I'm delivering frequencies to the dog, you know, I'm looking at, are their ears moving? Are their little face twitching? Are they looking around? What are they doing? And they're really, really subtle signs, but they're actually telling you, oh, you know, I've had enough, or it's this or it's that. Particularly if you were, for instance, to be using the kit, which we'll talk about in a minute, but, you know, you might put the kit on them and then you ramp it up to 80. I mean, I don't know how many people tell me, oh, I run my frequencies at 80%. And I go, no, lower, lower, lower. By watching your animals, you can see their body language. Are they comfortable with it? How are they feeling about it? You don't need to be able to talk to them like I can and get them to say, whoa, enough. You can see their body language. And that's really, really important, to be watching what they're doing and how they're responding. The other thing that, you know, really I want to talk about is that with animals, like for instance, my little poodle, she weighs 6 kilos, whereas my golden retriever was 32 kilos. You know, that's a really huge difference in size of pets. And when you start to think about the time that you're delivering it to them, really, I would encourage people, there's no stock standard, right? There's no piece of paper that says, excuse me, run it to them for this period of time or that. Always think of slow and low, right? Less is more. And if that's the only thing that you take away from today, you know, that's one of my top tips. The other thing is, you know, if your dogs are sick or they're really old, once again, just little amounts. That's how I work with them. And on the weekend, my beautiful golden retriever was not well. And, you know, I just run 37 seconds program just to support him. And that's how we continued.
All right. So, but we can also get the animal kits now, right? Because I guess you see, when we didn't always have kits for animals to use the microcurrent to receive that individualized program just for them. So as you can see, like she has her dogs here that have the straps actually tied onto them, or she has the Healy coil, but I'm actually going to stop sharing because Donna, you're going to show us how to actually use the Healy animal kit, right? Is that
Absolutely.
All right, let me stop this share so we can see how this looks.
So here's my pseudo golden retriever. And here's the kit. So when you buy the kit, right, in the kit comes a couple of straps, different straps, and these. So, you know, depending upon the size of your animal, now you can strap it around their chest. Obviously, this little golden retriever here is not very big, but she really represents the size of my poodle because my poodle's tiny. But if you've got a horse, you can use, you know, this, and you can put it around their neck, etc. So they provide a couple of different options, and then we've got a few little extension things here. So it was fun when I first got it because the instructions weren't crystal clear, and I was going, how does this work? But primarily, once you've got your sponge, so you just dampen the sponge and you pop these in to here, and then these would clip into the side. You just anchor them each side to your real life pet, not my stuffed up. And then these clip into your Healy.
Awesome.
Right. So it's really, really easy. You know, there is the question of, do we use the straps? Do we use the coil? Do we use nothing? You know, once again, it's a personal thing. For me, when you're using straps, you're actually, the kit, for instance, you know, it's really going deep into the cells. And, you know, that's what your pet needs, right? Whereas if you're just maybe doing a maintenance, you might just choose to be running Honey in the Blue app. Or me, I tend to use the coil a lot because I don't want to hold down my 18-year-old poodle with straps, and that way then she can get up and move away, but I know that she's getting the best possible frequencies delivered to her. So, you know, entirely up to you and your pets. But gee, I've seen some really creative people out there over time before we had the kit, and what they could hook up to their animals and what they did. I used to laugh every time I see another one.
Now, Donna, can I ask a question? Is there any contraindications or placements that you should be concerned of when applying the microcurrent to the animal?
Look, I think you've got to follow the contradictions the same as the ones for humans, right? If there's heart problems, if they're, you know, elderly and various bits and pieces, just be aware. I wouldn't be running frequencies to say a dog who's going to give birth to puppies. However, in saying that, you know, I would consider in the Blue app maybe using the bushflower essence, but only for like 37 seconds because it's going to your information field, right? And I think that's the great thing about Healy is we have got different ways to deliver those frequencies. So, you know, we can be very mindful of what is best for them. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, great. Well, thank you for that. Now let's go back to see what else. I know you have a few more things because we have that we wanted to share. Oh, of course, the animal programs. So look at all of these 12 amazing animal programs that Healy has provided for us as well to use on the animals. So, and you can see they've already included some expert tips, but I'd love to hear from you, Donna.
Well, look, when these came out, I was super, super excited because really, if you look at every single one of them, pretty well much that covers all the gamut of what may be happening for your pet at that point in time. And, you know, you really don't need to look any further because there is a program for everything, basically. The top 5 programs they talk about is the irritants, which is this one over here. We've got suffering, we've got microbiotica. I don't think I said that right, but you know what I mean. Defense and joints, right? Elderly dogs, joints. You know, you can't avoid that. So when you sit here and you look at these, you know, we are super, super lucky that we've got a whole little program all connected here. But one of the things that I would say for the question I get the most is, when you scan and it comes up and says suffering, people really start to stress about that, right? Because they go, oh, you know, my dog's been suffering for all these years, and they worry about not being a great pet parent. And I just say to them, look, you know, with anything in here, it's a whole system. It's not just physical. You know, Healy's looking at everything on different levels: emotional, physical, environment, etc. So, you know, these things will come up, and it's great that it comes up because we're able just to clear that out of their field, etc. So, you know, don't panic about what's coming up and think that I haven't been doing the right thing, you know, or say, for instance, the irritants is coming up. That could well be about what is going on in the environment around your animal. And, you know, for example, at the moment in Australia here, it is winter, but we've got a lot of beautiful bush flowers are flowering away. So there's a lot of pollens in the air and a lot of allergies. People are getting allergies. Well, so are our pets getting allergies, right? And they're sneezing or they're coughing. So, you know, we've got things in here that will pop up that we can help them and support them over this period of time. You know, so look at these programs, learn about them. You know, if your pet's been sick, maybe cleaning because it's doing detoxification, etc. I'm always really big in that, say, for instance, they've been to the vets and they've been on a course of antibiotics, looking at detoxing them afterwards. Right? So that way then you can be supporting them. And, you know, well done, Healy, picking these top 12 because they really do help our pets on so many different levels.
I love these ones. I'm just reading through them. So, you know, if you have a pet, and you call them guardians, is that what you?
I call myself a guardian, yes.
I love that. Okay, so let's say, so another guardian, and they are, you know, just wanting to support their animals, you know, daily. Of the 12 programs that are here, you know, what would be like just something like a daily support?
Look, you know, for me, I would go through and just run the animal program and see what comes up, and then I'd deliver to them in the Blue app. But it's more, and also too, I would extend that a little further and, you know, maybe go into all Healy programs, and then I would run that for 37 seconds and then the top program that comes up from there. So, you know, it really does depend on what's going on, for instance. If you've got more of an ongoing problem, like say, for instance, the seniors, sure, you're going to run all animal program or the animal program. But I would continue on then to go over to the Pink app and deliver joints. Because of arthritis, you can be supporting them that way, right? And it's really, really important to be able to know that we can deliver them in Blue and we're getting an overall, and then we can support them even further by going into the Pink app for that top program.
Perfect. Now you have some favorite programs as well, because, you know, like you said, we haven't always had access to the animal program, so people had to use what Healy had already provided. So these other programs are just within the Healy's Pink app that we could be using. So let's go over some of those and why you like these programs.
Okay, so quite often you're going to get a dog that barks a lot. That's a pretty stock standard one, right? And people say to me, oh, what am I going to do? Sure, you've got some within the animal programs, but you could also look at, coherence, for instance. It's calming, it's relaxing, or you could go over to the Gold app and we could look at relaxing there or balance, right? I've jumped down my list a little bit here, but when you go into Gold, everybody's got Gold programs. Everybody, right? Stock standard. And those Gold programs, really, all of those in there are amazing for pets, amazing for humans, amazing for pets. So, you know, have a consideration for that. Wellbeing, for instance, Wellbeing comes back for if you've got a dog that's just overstimulated and they want to chillax out, that would be one I'd go to. If you've got a pet that is really anxious, Inner Strength is another great program. Fatigue as well. These ones are under jobs. Fatigue, elderly pets, if you want to give them a bit of a boost. Released. So, for instance, if your pets are passing or your pets are getting towards the end of the life, you might consider running that program for them. Or if they're just holding on to things, like you've brought in a rescue dog, and you just want them to release their past or let go of what they've been holding on to, look at that and then follow that up, for instance, with the Australian bushflower essence, because it's all about emotions or working on the emotional level. I've got release in there twice. Obviously, I really love release because I've added it in there twice. Release for balance, anxiety, etc. The animal programs, obviously, we have those for joints. But if you didn't happen to have the joint or the animal program today, or you're using a different device, because some people are a little bit of junkies when it comes to Healy devices. I have 4, plus I have another 3 on the go. So, if I was out and about and I managed to have one of the wrong devices with me and I only had, say, the pink programs, I might be looking at joints, which are, by the way, this sheet here, which you can download from Healy. You can go and have a look in there, and you might be going to use joints on meridians, for instance, right? In your back office is the Healy programs. I highly encourage everybody to print out your animal programs. I have my little sheet here. When you do blur, you can't see things, but this is the Healy programs. It's laminated. It sits on my desk, and that way then I can flick around to see what, may be great for a pet on their particular needs. Plus, obviously I have a printout of the Healy animal programs, but, skin, if your dog's got itchy skin, yes, we can support them under the animal programs, but you can also support them under the other programs. And your chakras. Love the chakras because you can do a whole balance. Throat chakra, if your dogs are barking, close that chakra down, work with that chakra. So look, there's a program for that. When people say that, we all laugh about it, but it's so true. There is so many amazing programs or frequencies that we can support our pets with. It's just really up to you and how you wish to work with the tool.
I love this. And so I'm sorry to put you on the spot, though, because we didn't cover it on here, but what about the Aura module? Are you using that with animals?
So I do use the Aura module with my pets. I would only run it once a week. And particularly if I want to know where they're at and what's going on in their life, right? I want to know, and I'll give you an example. Ajax, he's had, geez, isn't it funny? I can't remember today what he's had. He's had cancer, and all his lymph nodes are up, lymphoma cancer he's had. And I wanted to scan him to see where he was at. And it was really, really interesting looking at that scan, because the throat chakra was so low, and so was his base chakra, right? Because both of those, your base or your red chakra is your survival, it's, your energy and all this. So yes, I run that on him, or run those on my animals, but I would only do that once a week. Right. And then it really gives me a good overall view to see where the animals are at that point in time.
That's beautiful. So Donna, you have some ways for people to, I'm sure people are going to want to ask you more questions, because you are just a unique and special way of helping animals. I'm so thankful that you're here and sharing Healy's frequencies with our animals. So go ahead and let's talk about how they can get in contact with you.
Or you can reach out to my Facebook page, Donna Doolittle. There is another one in America, so make sure you get the one in Australia. I'm the fun one. That's how I talk about myself. I'm the fun, crazy one. Reach out to me on my Facebook page. And I also do have a group which is called Frequencies for Pets. You can pop in there. Lots of information I share in there, and training I share in there, and go through things, because, I really want to empower Healy pet owners to use this amazing tool to work with their pets. We've got it, you've invested in it, so use it, because I notice what it's done, or know what it's done for me, and I know what it's done for my pets as well. So either come talk to me if you want to have an animal communication session and know what your pets are thinking. Great, let's book in and have a chat about that. If not, hop on over and let's see where you're at, and if I can help you, great.
Well, thank you, Donna. Thank you for supporting the field to be able to understand and know how they can use animal frequencies more with their own pets or their friends who have them. Is there any last things you want to share before we wrap up for today?
Just jump on board and try it out. A lot of people go, oh, I've used it for me, but not my pets. Slow and low, less is more. That's my top tip.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much and have a good day down under, and we'll chat soon. Hi, Donna. Well, thank you. All right. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed that interview with Donna Hammer. It was an honor to get to speak with her and learn a bit more how to use those frequencies. And so some of the takeaways that I took from it was definitely, less is more, slow and low. Watching your animals and reading their body language. I mean, just like how we experience the frequencies, if they're up too high, our thumbs might start twitching, or we might feel some tingling in our hands. Just, animals are definitely going to be able to feel things too. So just keeping an eye on them as they are seen, and also supporting them in their emotional states. And so using the vibrational frequencies in your databases in your Analyze app, the Bach flower remedies, bush flowers, Schussler salts. And also, if you have multiple animals, use a group in taking the recording of the group instead of individually doing your animals as well. I also had, let me see, I think that's everything for today. I also made a post in some of the Facebook groups, and there were so many of you who took the opportunity to message of how you are using frequencies with the animals. And some say, they don't even use the microcurrent, they're just using the coil. Some say they only use the vibrations. So like Donna has said, and many of you are showing, is that there's not one way that works best for the animals. So just see what works best for your circumstance and where they are, and utilize the analysis and what's coming up to support your animals. And because Healy has revamped and we're relaunching and getting people excited about the animal frequency programs that we have, there's been other amazing calls already this month. So if you haven't had the opportunity to watch the replay from Frequency and Friends, and even the past, I think, What's Up Wednesday today, Doc Steve was sharing on the animal frequencies. I believe I wasn't able to attend, but please make sure you watch those other replays because there's a lot out there. And like you said, or maybe you heard Donna say, there is the Frequencies for Pets Facebook group where people are in there sharing what they're using. I know we have many animal users on the call today. So if anyone has any questions, please go ahead and pop them in the chat. If I can't answer them, we'll make sure to get someone who has more experience with the animal programs to answer them for you. And always, you can watch this replay on Healy World America's YouTube channel. And Donna says she wants to make sure that we put this into her Frequencies for Pets Facebook group too. So more Healy users will be able to see it and support their animals. I thank you all for taking time this evening and sharing it with me and educating us on a little more of how we can support our fur friends around the globe. So enjoy your evenings. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Alexandra and Paula and Cheryl. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live. And I hope everybody has a great evening.